Hey, what's going on? It's 6:30 Tuesday, Spanish time, and it's time for Life Strategies with Nat for the Entrepreneurial Woman. Second episode of the year, episode 51. 51 episodes. I'm super pumped. I say this every time. Anyway, never gets old for me. How are you guys doing? If you're logging in live, give me a hello so that I know that you're here. And if you are watching on replay, give me a hashtag replay so that I can come and say hello after the fact. So today we're talking about, or I'm going to show you 7 steps to clear values. Why am I talking about values today? Because this month, I'm all about helping you find your purpose. So if you're new to the show, if you're new to me, Life Strategies was always about helping you use holistic strategies right away that you can use to get your mojo back, to create an aligned vision for yourself, and to also develop the success habits that you need to get back into the CEO position of your life and your business. So if you're an entrepreneurial woman, you're either in a job or you have a business that you want to start, or you're already in business, you're in the right place. So for those of you that don't know me, my name's Natalia. You can call me Nat. And I'm a life strategist, certified wellness coach, founder of the Make It Happen Success System, and #1 best-selling author. I'm not going to dwell too much on that. I just know that there's lots of new people that I've had the pleasure of meeting and that have joined. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I went to an amazing networking event this morning. So I'm all jazzed after that because it's just, there's something so awesome about actually getting out there and meeting new people, networking with people, as opposed to just being behind your computer. So if you are starting a business online, it can feel very lonely. But that's one way that you can really get out of your comfort zone and start living on purpose. So why values today? Values, so first of all, knowing your purpose is about knowing who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in, what you're meant to do in this world. And it can be something small or it can be something huge. It doesn't have to be this big grandiose thing that you go and find. A lot of the times our purpose is right there in front of us. We just haven't even realized it yet. So before we begin, I've got clarity and I've got abundance. What do you feel like today? I'm going to pick one in a second, but I just thought I'd throw it out there. Hey, Sakshi. How are you doing, lovely? Okay, so I'm looking at my notes a lot tonight, only because, and you guys know I hate this word, but it's been a busy week. There's been lots of going on because I had fam here since last Thursday, and while I loved having them here, it's been a bit of catch up this week. So give me some hearts if you can identify with that. Okay, so a lot of the times when we think about purpose, we think about what do we do for our job. Now, this is something I want you to start to get away from, because that's not what purpose is about. Purpose is not what you do. It's this inner knowing that guides us to knowing who we are. It guides us in terms of, growing within ourselves and really understanding the bigger picture, as in, like, what are we here to do? So I'm actually going to go with clarity because I feel like that's something we all need tonight. So, okay, let's get clear, team. All right, so your purpose can give you meaning, into your life. It can help you rise above challenges and actually make better decisions. And this is where your values come in. So if you don't have a pen and paper yet, I'm just giving you a forewarning. Grab a pen and paper, because I'm actually going to walk you through the 7 steps, and you can come back at any time on the replay and do this over again. But sorry, I'm just going to turn those off. I hate those notifications. I shouldn't say hate, but anyway. So, what was I saying? So your purpose can also, it gives us the ability to look outside of ourselves and like what is actually going on in the world, and it brings more meaning into our lives. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about purpose having 3 layers. And this is really drawing on the Wellness 360 philosophy that I use and learned as a certified wellness coach through the International Association of Wellness Professionals. But essentially you have 3 layers of purpose. You have internal, external, and you have the symbolic layer, or the spiritual layer, as I'm going to call it. So internally, that's about fulfillment. That's living with intention. That's being open-minded and content with where you're at and what you're doing. Externally, it's, knowing and discovering your passion. So what are you meant to do? And again, this doesn't have to be this big grandiose thing. And how this affects our overall well-being is that, it allows you to have a different outlook, and it allows you to really channel your feelings. And essentially, that's how it, relates to your overall well-being. So on the symbolic level, it's being authentic. It's showing up. So this is how, this is what purpose is. And now we're going to get into values, because values are things that drive your behavior, your decision making. So it's really important to be super clear on your values. And I will tell you, every time you reach new levels of success or you enter a new chapter in your life, your values are going to change. So you need to be consistently checking in with yourself, checking in with your values, and just making sure that, they haven't changed. And if they have changed, what are they now? Okay, so I'm actually going to be looking at, it's a 7-step tool that I use in my Make It Happen success system. It's something that I share with my premium clients. So I'm going to get into it right now. Pen and paper. Ready? Let's go. Okay. Step 1. I want you to identify the times when you are most happiest. Identify the times when you are most happiest. So this is like things like, what were you doing? Were you with other people? Who was there? What other factors contributed to feeling happy in that moment at that time? So you can think of examples in your career, you can think of examples in your personal life, but try to stick to those 3 questions, because that will really help you hone in on when you were the most happiest. So that's step 1, okay? Step 2, identify the times when you were most proud. So think about things that you achieved. Think about, why were you proud of that? Why were you proud in that moment? Did other people share your pride? Who was it? Who was there? What other factors contributed to these feelings of feeling proud in that moment? So think of the times where you felt proud of yourself. Step 3, think of the times when you felt most fulfilled and most satisfied. So you can think of fulfillment as being happiest, like when were you most joyful? So, and if you're just joining now, we're on step 3 of the 7-step system, so you may want to come off and just go back to the beginning after this live is over. But so step 3, identify the times when you are most fulfilled and most satisfied. So what need or desire was fulfilled there? How and why did the experience give your life meaning? And then what other factors contributed to that feeling of fulfillment? So again, these are personal or work experiences, okay? So step 4, and this is where I think most people get a bit hung up on, is determining your top values. So determine your top values based on those 3 questions. When were you happiest? When were you most proud? And when were you most fulfilled? So like, why is each of those moments, experiences that you wrote down, why were they the most important? Like, why were they the most memorable? And when I say top values, there is a ton of things that we can say values-wise. I'm just going to read a couple off my list, but like abundance, acceptance, accountability, belonging, boldness, carefulness, challenge. Like, do you value challenge? Do you value hard work? Do you value freedom? Is it time freedom? Is it financial freedom? Do you value self-control? Do you value security? There's so many options out there that this is why I think a lot of us get caught up, because it's hard to pick our top values, which is why I want you to try to, for now in this step, just write down whatever comes to mind based on those 3 things, the 3 steps we did before. When were you happiest? When were you most proud? And when were you most fulfilled? And just make a laundry list. You know, is optimism important to you? Perfectionism, we should never be perfectionism, just saying. But, you know, that is a whole other story. But, you know, intelligence, integrity, excellence, there's so many, like health, there's so many options. I'm not going to list all of them. But just do a laundry list, because this will really help you in the next step, which is step 5. This is all about grouping similar values together. So from the list you just created, group the similar values together into 5 lists, if you will. Don't go more than 5, because then that gets a little complicated, and we're all about keeping it simple, right? Keeping it simple. So in this step, when you group them all together, just look at your big list and figure out, okay, which ones are similar. So if you have things like abundance, growth, wealth, security, freedom, independence, I would maybe lump those together. You know, appreciation, encouragement, thankfulness, thoughtfulness, I would lump those together. Acceptance, compassion, intuitiveness, kindness, love, I would group those together. So you kind of see what I mean. And like I said, try to make 5, no more than 5 groups, because then it just gets a bit much. And then step 6, this is when you prioritize your top values. So in each of those 5 lists, and if you made 4 lists, that's fine. If you made 3, that's cool too. But in each of those groups that you made, pick one that really stands out for you. So, you know, if you were working with a list of like abundance, growth, wealth, security, freedom, independence, flexibility, maybe freedom is the most, it resonates with you the most. If you think about, you know, if you have a list that's kind of like acceptance, compassion, intuitiveness, inclusiveness, love, making a difference, Maybe making a difference is your number one value, or that resonates the most in that group. So once you've done this, you should have, if you had 3 groups, then you'll have 3 top values. If you had 4 groups, you'll have 4 top values, 5 groups, 5 top values, etc. So that's why I think 5 is a really nice number, because 3 is almost too little, and then anything above that, maybe you're just not narrowing down enough. So, and then step 7, this is where you just want to basically reaffirm those values. So is what you selected from each group, if you're left with a list of 5, does that really resonate with you? Do these values make you feel good? Do they make you feel good about yourself? Do they make you feel proud of yourself? Do they make you feel fulfilled? Like, kind of going back to the beginning, right? So do these values represent things you would support even if your choice isn't popular? So this is a really important one, because it's not about comparing to other people. This is what's important to you. This is knowing who you are. I always say this: vision is the destination, strategy is the pathway there, but you are the key to making it happen. So this is what, my goal is for you, is to get clear on your values so that you can live more intentionally, you can live more on purpose, and that you're able to find your purpose much easier, because you're getting to know yourself that much better. You're knowing what's important to you. You're knowing what you stand for. And this is all about purpose. It's this journey of getting to know yourself inside and out. Inside meaning like you're happy, you're content. Outside meaning that you have passions. You're doing things that are passionate to you. And symbolically, it's like you're making a difference in the world. If you think about back to those 3 layers again. So, to recap, identifying and understanding your values are key to facing challenges and making decisions and knowing your purpose. The 7 steps, identify the times you were most happiest, identify the times you were most proud, identify the times you were most fulfilled or satisfied. Those are this first 3 steps. Step 4 is make a huge, I shouldn't say huge, because you can make it however much you want, but make a list. Just list out all the characteristics, behaviors, everything that you feel is important to you when it comes to a value. And I wasn't going to do this, but you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I will invite you guys to download a copy of this 7 steps. I'll put it in the somewhere around this video, but you can actually work through these steps yourself if you're more of a visual person. So if this video, if you need it in front of you on paper, and because everyone learns differently, everyone does things differently. So step 4 was making a list. Step 5 was grouping that list in, groups that make sense so that they're similar to one another. And step 6 is picking one of the values in each group that really resonates, stands out with you. And step 7 is just reaffirming that those values are really true and top to you, in the sense that they make you feel proud, they make you feel happy, they make you feel fulfilled and satisfied. So that's my training for today. I hope that you guys had a great time. I'm not seeing any comments come through, so I apologize if you are commenting and I can't see them. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully my internet is not acting up again today. But anyway, I am off to spin. Let me know how this resonates with you. If you want to share, the top thing you got out of it, I'd love to hear it. Put it in the comments. Share the video if you had any breakthroughs, or if you know someone that might get value from doing this kind of exercise. And we will see you next week. Lots of love. Bye-bye.